Assalamualaikum and good evening. You're now with me, Yusuf Shukri, for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. South Korea has decided to lay the groundworks for peace with North Korea by dismantling loudspeakers along its borders. The loudspeakers broadcasted K-pop songs and news, and by the end of the week will be fully removed. More on that on World News. The Sarawak Brigade of General Operations Force successfully conducted the optaring from July to August with a total seizure worth 3.6 million ringgit of smuggled goods. Some of the items included untaxed cigarettes, alcoholic beverages, as well as subsidized essential goods. And it's official. The new residence of the Premier named Satria Pertiwi Complex. More details on it coming up next. The new office of the Premier of Sarawak, which was previously dubbed the Sarawak White House, has officially been named as the Sarawak Satria Pertiwi Complex. It was announced by the Governor, His Excellency Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, during the launching ceremony. The event also commemorated the Premier, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg's birthday, who turned 75 years old. According to reports, the architectural design of the complex was inspired by the neoclassical style that is famously imbued in ancient Greek and Roman architectural styles, characterized by grandeur, simplicity, and symmetry. The complex consists of 4 blocks, which are the Premier's office as the main building, the official residence of the Premier, a multi-purpose hall, and a prayer hall. Previously, the Premier's office was located at Wisma Bapak Malaysia since it was first opened on August 17, 1976. In a move to bolster the state's governance framework, 3 individuals have been appointed to key positions within the Sarawak Ombudsman structure. This appointment is part of the ongoing efforts to reinforce integrity and accountability in the state's administration. Alexander Unya Ambon has been approved as the Deputy Chief Ombudsman, effective from July 1st, 2025, while Albert Tang Yu Leong and Toya Teo have been appointed as Ombudsmen, effective June 22nd and June 23rd, 2025, respectively. The swearing-in ceremony was held on Monday at 10 a.m. at the Kuching High Court before the Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, Dato' Azizah Nawawi. These appointments were made in accordance with Section 7 of the Sarawak Ombudsman Ordinance 2023, which mandates that every appointed individual must take an oath before officially carrying out their duties. Now, the Sarawak Brigade of the General Operations Force, GOF, recorded 10 successful cases under optaring from July 21st to August 1st across various locations in Sarawak, involving seizures worth 3.6 million ringgit. Sarawak Brigade Commander SAC Dr. Cik Ghazali Chiawang said the largest haul occurred in Cebu on July 21st, with the seizure of 783,040 sticks of untaxed cigarette and 225 litres of liquor, valued at 1.4 million ringgit. And a 43-year-old local man was arrested in connection with the case. Meanwhile, on August 1st, 4 men were detained in Bau for attempting to smuggle 35,000 kilograms of Bombay onions and 1,400 kilograms of garlic without valid permits alongside 4 lorries, with the total estimated value at 1.13 million ringgit. In other cases, the GOF seized 10,000 kilograms of imported sugar without permits in Lundu, worth 350,000 ringgit, 15,432 litres of subsidized diesel in Sematan, worth 291,553 ringgit and 44 cents, and 380 boxes of frozen food in Lundu, worth 222,960 ringgit, with multiple individuals arrested. Another case involved a 67-year-old man where he was caught in Sri Aman with controlled goods like rice and cooking oil, while another elderly man in Debak was found transporting 580 litres of fuel. Both had taken place on July 31st. The seizures were valued at 121,795 ringgit and 70 cents and 111,815 ringgit, respectively. Meanwhile, in two drug-related cases, ecstasy worth 34,466 ringgit and 50 cents was found in an abandoned car near Kuching Airport. And a man in Serian was arrested with methamphetamine and a Proton Wira with a fake number plate, totaling 25,199 ringgit 20 cents in seizures. Sheikh Ghazali said on July 23rd, a stolen Yamaha FZ105 motorcycle worth 5,000 ringgit was recovered near the Malaysian-Indonesia border in Bau, adding that the operations demonstrated strong enforcement efforts against smuggling and criminal activities. Member countries of ASEAN will come together in October to sign an MOU to initiate the ASEAN Energy Grid. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof said the MOU will focus on developing a roadmap for the energy grid, standardization and regulation, as well as a business model which will involve energy exchange between ASEAN member countries.
Dan dalam konteks ASEAN, daripada dulu lagi, kita dah bercakap tentang ASEAN Power Grid. Dah lama bercakap. So last year, bila saya menjadi co-chair untuk Ministers of Energy dekat Vientiane, kita mengusulkan for us to revisit and to make sure that this time round APG menjadi fokus kepada semua negara-negara ASEAN. So that's why di Malaysia kali ini kita melihat bahawa ASEAN Power Grid ini akan menjadi fokus untuk kita dapat persetujuan daripada semua negara.
The acquisition of Boeing aircraft by Malaysia Aviation Group MAG is part of a long-term fleet renewal and expansion strategy. Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz emphasised that the decision to purchase Boeing aircraft was not made impulsively or under tariff pressure, but rather was driven by the need to replace the B737-800 aircraft, which have been in service for an average of 14 years, ensuring safety and operational sustainability.
Sebagai makluman, pada tahun 2016, MAG telah membuat tempahan awal bagi 25 buah pesawat Boeing 737-8 MAX. Sejak November 2023, sebanyak 13 pesawat telah diterima dan selebihnya akan dihantar secara berperingkat sehingga 2027. Pada 20 Mac 2020 ini sebelum tarikh dikenakan pun, MAG mengutamatkan tempahan tambahan sebanyak 30 buah pesawat Boeing 737 MAX dengan tempoh penghantaraan dijangka bermula 2025 hingga 2035. Selain itu, dapat 30 pesawat lagi di bawah kategori perancangan yang akan diputuskan berdasarkan strategi dan pelan pertumbuhan MAG pada masa depan. Jadi nilai perolehan ini bukan sekadar harga pesawat tetapi turut merangkumi kos enjin, latihan, penyelenggaraan serta sokongan jangka panjang.
This acquisition is also part of efforts to reduce Malaysia's trade deficit with the US, which encourages the country to procure from and invest in the US under Section 6 of the agreement. On to our next update. The Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department JBPM has affirmed its full preparedness to manage radiation leakage risk should Malaysia adopt nuclear technology as a future energy source. Director General of JBPM, Datuk Seri Nur Hisham Mohamad, stated that the department is ready to implement emergency action plans in line with international standards, including seeking guidance from countries with existing nuclear plants.
Jadi dari segi keselamatan dalaman reaktor itu rujukan ada. Cuma dari segi persediaan untuk jabatan bomba, kita akan merujuk kepada yang counterpart kita yang telah ada fasiliti itu untuk kita bangunkan. Tetapi secara asasnya dari segi yang cakap pendedahan kepada radioaktif, saya katakan semua anggota bomba kita telah dedahkan di peringkat asas. Kemudian kita ada lagi 17 pasukan hazardous material yang kita ada lebih kurang 149 sekarang. 429 anggota yang memang kita dedahkan mereka kepada isu berkaitan dengan radioaktif.
He further emphasized that if a nuclear plant is developed, priority will be given to enhancing equipment for detecting radiation leaks. However, he stressed that the provision of such specialized equipment should be managed by the nuclear industry itself. Earlier, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof visited Russia and France to explore the potential of nuclear energy as a clean, safe and sustainable power source for Malaysia. Earlier today, finance experts said the ringgit closed stronger against the US dollar following a softer than expected US jobs report that significantly altered market expectations for the Federal Reserve policy. At 6 p.m., the ringgit rose to 4.2350/2385 versus the US dollar from Friday's close of 4.2750/2815. And SBI Asset Management Managing Director Stephen Inez said that last Friday's non-farm payrolls data showed a marked slowdown in US job creation, prompting traders to sharply increase bets on monetary easing. A child psychologist testified in the Sessions Court today that the late Zain Ryan Abdul Matin had not been neglected or abused, as indicated by 3 medical reports from Selayang Hospital and Sungai Buloh Hospital. Dr. Noor Aisha Rosli, 49 years old, the founder of the CPC International Psychology Clinic in Bandar Baru Bangi, confirmed that she had reviewed the reports provided by the defense. When questioned by lawyer Haresh Mahadevan, Dr. Noor Aisha said there was no evidence in the reports suggesting that Zain Ryan had suffered neglect or abuse.
Dr. Noor Aisha elaborated on the definition of neglect, explaining that the American Psychiatric Association APA outlines various forms, including emotional, physical, and educational neglect. She emphasized that neglect must occur over a consistent period to be classified as such. In relation to the amended charge against East Manira, which refers to neglect causing potential physical injury to the child, Dr. Noor Aisha pointed out that the use of the word likely in the charge implies uncertainty and does not definitively point to physical injury. When questioned whether the amended charge clearly indicated neglect by the accused, the witness responded that it was not specified in the charge. On July 21st, Judge Shaliza Warno ordered East Manira to enter her defense after the prosecution successfully established a prima facie case against the woman, while her husband, Zaim Ikwan Zahari, 30, was acquitted and discharged.
Now, over on world news, South Korea has started dismantling loudspeakers along its border with North Korea, ending broadcasts of K-pop and news aimed at the North. This move is part of efforts by the new administration to ease tension with its northern neighbor. Following the election of President Lee Jae-myung, both nations halted propaganda broadcasts in June, and North Korea has also stopped emitting disruptive sounds along the border just a day after the loudspeakers were turned off. The loudspeakers will be removed by the end of the week with no impact on South Korea's military readiness. President Lee, seeking improved relations, has called for talks with the North, but Pyongyang has rejected such overtures. The two countries remain technically at war since the 1950 to 1953 Korean War that ended in armistice, not a peace treaty. And that's all the time we have for tonight's TVS Nightline. My name is Yusuf Shukri. Thank you for watching. Good night. Assalamualaikum.
Bila orang bertanya dengan kita apakah